Just be a man about it. That's all we really want. We just want you to be a man about it. There's a lot of women who've been so picky when it comes to their preferences that they end up being desperate. When I say desperate, it means that they start to begin to date these bisexual men. And that's a no no, ma'am. Go run. Go run real quick. Be right back. Today's episode is called Just Be a Man About It. It's an interesting thumbnail. I'll show y'all what it looks like real quick for those who haven't had the chance to take a preview of it. Here it goes right here. On this preview, on this thumbnail, you may see a couple on the left and what appears to be a couple on the right. Yes, it's the same man. The dark-skinned guy that's right there with the suit and that particular shirt, that's the same man. We'll be talking about him today because his wife, or would have been wife, actually knew that he was bisexual, but that didn't stop her from pursuing her man, or should I say her male, because he wasn't and he isn't a man. So for that reason, I'll be talking about this today because it's just so interesting that women have the nerve to be picky and then they realize the time is ticking, and then now they decide that, oh, let me be desperate because I don't have any more time left. And that's what you don't want to be. If you're young, you're watching this, you have some time, but that time means you need to get yourself right and realize that you can't be coming up with this list with a 6-figure, 6-pack, 6 feet, and then you don't have nothing to bring to the table yourself. That's how you end up getting bisexual men to date you, because you think that you can be able to compete where you don't compare. Let me keep it real. So what I'm going to do first is start with the word of the day, which is coming from James chapter 1, verse 8 of the King James Version, which says the following: a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. A double-minded man. Yes, that's James 1, 8. And let me take a look at this chat real quick. I see my guy Chavis in here saying greetings, Chelsea, and everyone watching. And of course, I see my guy Jermaine from That Christian Fam channel. Greetings. I appreciate you for tuning in. Yes, this will be an interesting one. So again, women are too picky. That turns to being too desperate when you realize that list is so superficial, right? And then you lose all your standards. You throw your self-worth in the trash, whatever you had, right? That's what I have to get into today. Because this man here that I'm going to show you on the thumbnail was going to get married to this particular woman. She thought that she was going to be his wife. They seemed to be so happy and loving. And no, he was living a past life. And as a result, that past life came back to haunt him. That's sometimes what can happen, y'all, is that you live a certain type of lifestyle. And you think that lifestyle is going away. But sooner than later, it ends up being where that lifestyle starts to return. Unless you change as a person, those trials are going to come back. And when they do come back, it's the way that you react. And instead of reacting, you have to be proactive, because the past will come back to haunt you. And that's a fact. So what I'm going to do is share my screen. So I want to tell you a little bit about how women think today. This is what it comes to women and standards. Here we go. Black women be like, the first person is too nice. A working guy is too lame. A hardworking man is too weird. A classy dressing guy is too nerdy. But the guys who look like they gangbang and participate in any and every activity, they're the real guys. They want to have their baby. They just throw their standards out the trash because they think that they can be protected, when these guys can't even protect themselves. Most of the time they end up dead because of the fact is that they're trying to live a lifestyle that they can't even win in if they try to. And the last thing is that as soon as that woman has that baby by that hood guy who they thought was a good guy, they're all talking about the stereotype now. All men ain't sugar, honey, iced tea. I can't believe he left me pregnant. You left yourself pregnant because you already knew what time it was before you decided to dib and dab and everything. Stop taking the good guy for granted. So let me get into this. All right, so this guy here, his name is Clarence, and he is engaged to this particular woman who's going to be his wife one day. But he has a past life. And shout out to, let's see, Jesus Loves You is in the chat. Jesus loves you. I appreciate you for tuning in. And Seiko tuned into this one as well. BCV, check him out, y'all, on YouTube. All right, this guy here was engaged to this woman. They look like the happy couple, as one would think, because everybody looks at people on social media and determines what their lifestyle is like behind the scenes. And just in case y'all didn't check, that is a BBL that he has in the middle screenshot here. So that's the first thing I wanted to point out for those who didn't recognize that. But we'll get into that in a bit. All right. Their wedding is set for September 3rd of this year. And he said, y'all better get ready to save your date. I'm getting ready to put my foot on the pedal. All right. And let me just tell you, this man here is bisexual, as I stated at the beginning of this. And his past lover came back to haunt him and came back to talk to him because he had love for him still. Let me read this from his past lover and we'll go from there. Let me just say this. Clarence and I separated for 6 months with no contact. With that being said, we dated for 2 years prior to our separation. So the love we had didn't die over the course of those 6 months. We all know he entered into another relationship and was engaged. My pride would never let me interfere or interrupt his happiness, nor would he do that to me, with who I was dating. We both sincerely wished each other well when we called it quits. Things didn't work out for either of us in our previous relationships, so when we finally did talk, we decided to let our pride go. But did y'all let your pride go? Anyway, since that was the ultimate reason we didn't make our relationship last the first time. Love is truly a gamble, and I'm willing to bet it all on my best friend and the love of my life, Clarence. I steal, he steal, and we steal. So let me talk about that some and what he's talking about. Go to the next slide. Let me just tell you, this man left his fiance for his ex. The ex that was just talking on that status there. He left his ex-wife, for this guy because he obviously is battling. Like I told y'all, James chapter 1 verse 8. I've said it already, but a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Ladies, you think you can change a bisexual man to just love you and only you? You're fooling yourself, trying to be desperate out here, to say the least. To say the least. All right. And let me just play some clips real quick from Clarence because he was trying to convince people. When you speak so much about, oh, I'm a queen, I'm a queen, I'm a queen, I'm a queen. I'm convincing myself that I'm that. I already know who I am, so I don't have to let y'all know who I am on this screen. You can see it through my actions, right? The words mean nothing. So he was convincing himself that I love a woman, I love a woman, I love a woman. However, he was living a false lifestyle. So let me start with this first clip where he's talking about the fact that he's dipped and dabbed into any and everything, but now he wants a woman in his life.
So at this point in time in your life, you only looking for love.
Yeah, so this point in my time in my life, I got a female. And I love her. She's understanding. She know about my past. Went to the health unit, got blood work done for her. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. She the best. When I say she the best, like it's hard to find somebody to understand my past. Not just that, she working with me. She wouldn't work. So our next step is she good with my kids love. So now I'm from Louisiana, she from Louisiana. I moved to Atlanta before I moved this place. So now we're about to relocate together. She can work anywhere. She a nurse. So when we relocate, I'm about to buy us a house cash. She won't have no more household to pay, and we're gonna grow from there. But I don't need to be nowhere around people that I already know. We need to learn each other. We need to grow. We need to be in our own peace of mind. So my house I have in Louisiana, I'm gonna rent that out, and I'm gonna buy a new house, Mobile, Alabama.
All right, so this was a clip that he did back in January stating that this woman knew his past. She's his fiance. She knew his past, which meant that he was dating women and men. He actually has 3 children, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So he's been living a lifestyle where he's had children. However, he's bisexual, so he goes both ways, and however he's feeling that day is whoever he's going to go with, to say the least. Yes, and Chavis is like, don't claim my home state, dude. Yeah, I know. Mess. Seiko's like, my gaydar is broke. Again, yes, I'm telling you, it's so easy. And look, it's a mess. I want to answer Seiko's question. He said, your audio sounds great. Thank you. What platform are you using, sis? I'm using StreamYard here, and my mic is an ATR 2100X, I believe. So USB mic, ATR 2100. So that's what I use. But yeah, he definitely is showing some sugared vibes here, and he thinks that a woman can change his lifestyle. He thinks he wants a woman now. He wants to relocate with this woman and have a new life. And this next clip shows where he says he wants a new start, and he thinks a new start will work for his life.
So you think a new start, a new environment would be better?
New start, new environment, raise the kids, we get to know each other. It's all about us. And we get...
See, I want to do that too, but it got to be with a man.
Okay, I know. But I prefer a woman. You know, if when you bisexual, you have a choice. You want a girl or a boy, or a girl, boy, girl. I did it already. I'm going on 40 years old. I'm raising daughters in high school, 9th grade. Have a 5-year-old son. So guess what he watching? He watching his daddy. So when he watching his daddy be what I want.
He said, I can do boy, girl, boy, girl, boy. Unstable. James 1:8, unstable in all his ways. I'm letting you know. Today he might want a girl. Tomorrow he might want a boy. That's what he's letting y'all know. And he has to be an example for his children. But what example are you setting for your child? Because you have to train up a child in the way they should go, and when they grow old, they will not depart. In other words, I'm saying is that you provide a lifestyle that confuses your children from the beginning, letting them know it's okay to partake in sin, but then want to say that only God can judge you, right? Only God can judge me. Everybody want to pull that card when they know they're doing wrong. They don't want people on earth to judge them before God does the final judgment. Why don't you try to correct your behaviors before? But that's another question for another day, I guess.
I don't judge people because I live the life. I can never judge you and say, oh, I don't live this lifestyle no more, so I hate him. He needs to stop that. I can't preach to you because it's a battle I've been fighting. So that's what you want to do. That's why I tell people about judging people. I just feel like if you're a Christian, real Christian don't judge. Whatever you want to do in your life. If my child, Haley, grew up and she want to be a dyke, I'm going to love her. She my child. She my dyke. You know, I'm not going to tell her, don't do this, is not what God wants you to do. She got to figure it out. So I can't change right now. I can't change what I'm doing because mama don't like it. Sister, I got to do it when I'm ready to do it. And I'm ready now. One time I wasn't ready. I wanted to play.
One time he wasn't ready, but he's ready now to settle down. He said Christians can't judge. So us Christians, the one who I'm talking to y'all, I'm a Christian, everybody in the chat, I think Seiko's saying you a lot, that you talking about Christians can't judge. Everybody wants to say Christians can't judge. But do you know that there are Bible verses that let us know that we have to go talk to our brother, talk to our sister, to at least tell them what is right, and what they do with that information is them, but at least we tell them what is right and wrong, so therefore they can correct their lives before it's too late? Hello. But yeah, I see these comments in here, y'all. Lastly, he said that marrying a woman is what he wants. He confirms that again and again, and this is the last clip from him before I tell y'all what's going on right now.
Not just marrying her, being with her first, learning each other, knowing her, and then we're going to get married. You're going to see how many more blessings pour in your life. You know? Hey, this is what I want to do. I just don't want no more kids. She won't want more baby. But hey, if it happens too as well. They come with the territory, but she there for the long haul.
Right, how hypocritical. While saying Christians can't judge, he's the one that's judging. Yes, and for those who are just tuning in, make sure I hit that like button because this is going to be an interesting one. It's going to be short and sweet today, but I'm getting on here to talk about the fact that this man, Clarence, is bisexual. He is engaged to a woman. However, his past, which means the men that he's dealt with, a specific man, is coming back because he wants to claim his territory, right? He said, hey, you were just with me 6 months ago, so now you're going to be with me again because I still love you. I still love you. That love just doesn't go away. And this is the guy right here that I'm talking about. His name is Kirk. And here's pictures of this man, Clarence, with Kirk. You see, Kirk. You see how happy he is? And y'all see the BBL work done because ain't nobody built like that. Why would a man want to be built like that? I'm very confused. Okay, to say the least. All right. So this is Kirk and this is Clarence right here. And I see that real quick. Seiko's like, Chelsea got my blood pressure and stroke level status. Oh, Lord, I didn't mean to do all that. Nah, hold up. So let me just tell y'all are invited. I told y'all that he was getting married on September 3rd. So we are all invited to the wedding. Let me show y'all the flyer real quick. Save the date, y'all. Kirk and Clarence, September 3rd. Save the date. 6 p.m. in Louisiana with it at the Ren Center. That's where they're gonna be at, y'all. So make sure y'all get y'all best dressed on, y'all Sunday best, or whatever day this is, honey. Get your outfits together because this is what's going on. He left his fiance for the guy he was with named Kirk, and they're gonna be getting married. That's what he wants. This man had said that, oh, I'm ready for a wife, proposed to this woman. And let me tell y'all real quick, let me get back to the main screen. This woman is actually pregnant for this man right now. When they got engaged back in February, she was 2 weeks pregnant for this man. He is about to have another child, knowing that he really didn't even want to have children and knowing that he's going to be growing up confused children in a confused environment. Thinking it's okay for their daddy to have a BBL. Thinking it's okay for their daddy to be kissing on another man or anything like that. So confused. And it's sad that this is what's going on. Jermaine said, well, that's Nikki's birthday. Yeah. Whew, Lord, it's a mess going on that day other than Nikki's birthday. It's a mess on that day. But yes, praise her for her birthday being on that day. Yes. He said, wait a minute. I thought the chick got the BBL. So he got the BBL? What? Yeah, this is the norm now. If you go to Atlanta or anywhere else, that's what you'll see is these men out here with BBLs thinking it's okay to look like women and to live these lifestyles. right? But he's the one that's saying only God can judge. And let me just show y'all real quick. These are two of his other baby mamas right here. On the left, this one has a son by him, and the one on the right has 2 daughters by him. So like I said, this man doesn't know what he wants to do. He's raising children. He might be taking care of them, but they need a solid man in their life. Not a male, but a man, because there's definitely a difference there. And Chava said, hey, when it comes to this wedding here, I'll bring my blessed oil and a Bible. Yeah, you're going to need all that. But he said, no, God can't judge. I mean, only God can judge. And Seiko's like, I'll pass. I'm attending a paint drying conference. Oh, my gosh. Jesus Love You says, hopefully after the wedding, all the batteries will be sold out. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. What he talking about here? But yes, definitely. It's just a mess. And this is what he posted, right? As soon as he came up with the news that, oh, I'm going to be getting married to my man, he said, family, friends, and etc. If you actually love me, you'll love everything about me and whoever I choose to love. Remember, God first loved me, and he's the ultimate judge. Yea, without sin, cast the first stone. This the real mess. Yes. So that's what he said to confirm that, hey, y'all can judge me all y'all want, but God gonna be the one that judge me. I can do whatever I want on this earth. However, God can judge me. And let's go back to this. This is his baby mamas. They flipped genders there, as you can see, because the first one flipped genders. I guess she became him, he became her, pretty much. Like Jermaine said, he flipped the girl on the left. Yes. Oh, Lord, it's a mess. But I just want to come on here today because there's women who will settle for a man being bisexual, thinking they can change this man to love them. Okay? And just embarrass you, for real, because the standards are thrown out the window. They going way out the window, y'all. And you got to pick your standards back up. And shout out to my auntie Carolyn for tuning in. I appreciate you. And this is a short and sweet one. All I'm going to let y'all know is that women, don't be too picky to the point that you turn too desperate. That's when you decide that it's okay to just date a man that's bisexual, that goes both ways, who's indecisive in his ways, in his actions, right? And not only can you get STDs, sexually transmitted diseases, you can get spiritually transmitted diseases, okay? I'm telling you, it's not just STDs. And it's also the fact that you're not going to be number one. You're not going to be number one in his life. Once they do all that, they're not coming back to you, all right? They may come back to you when they're tired of doing what they're doing, but that's about it, all right? To say the least. Yes, it's a mess, y'all. But make sure y'all like this video. I just saw this on my timeline. I said, okay, I got to do a clip on this because it's sad that women will put up with this. And let me just tell y'all, if y'all didn't hear the clip where he said it, his fiance, ex-fiance now, was a nurse. So, you know, smart in academics, dumb in dating. Most black women of today. It's so sad that we have to put up with nonsense when it comes to our selection of who we choose to love. We choose to love anything because we just don't want to look desperate. We don't want to be alone. But let me tell you, women, you're never alone, because if you notice that when I'm in my single season, like right now, I'm never single. I'm saved. I'm in my saved season, which means that I'm never alone because God is always by my side right here while I'm doing this video, right when I go to sleep at night. God, like I said before in my last episode, God is more consistent than a lot of the guys y'all deal with. So in reality, don't be putting up with no man who know he don't want you, but you just say, I'm going to just be with him because I can't be by myself. You can be by yourself. Get yourself together and be whole so you can attract somebody who is whole like you. It's pitiful, though. I've heard of a Spelman graduate, who's getting married to a guy who's in jail. The standards are so low that it's easy to see that needle in a haystack. It's so easy to see that needle in a haystack because everybody picking the hay. Like anybody that say hey to them, they're basically jumping at. It don't matter what they look like, what they act like, what their credentials are, what they go to jail for or anything. They just say, okay, a man said hey to me, so I'm going to go ahead and give him my most prized possession, my womb. And now this woman is pregnant by a bisexual man, and the baby's going to grow up in a confused world thinking he got 2 mommies. Because I don't even want to get into it no more. All I got to say is it's a mess. Shout out to Big Smooth for tuning in. I appreciate you for tuning in. Yeah, this is a important episode. A lot of women, maybe you're on the case where women, like some women don't even know that their guy is bisexual. Some women don't even know that their guy is gay. That's another topic for another day because I really can't tell you how to determine that because there's a lot of feminine energy that's going around in this world. So you really can't tell. To a certain extent, you got to ask your gay friends to really find that information out. I can't help you with that whatsoever. All right. But yes, amen to that. God is merciful. So make sure you stay prayed up because you can, get away from stuff like that. You don't want to be bothered with that. Like I said, it ain't just about STDs. It's more than that. You're going with somebody who sins and don't care enough about them to let them know they need to stop sinning and become stable. okay? To be honest, all right? So make sure y'all like this video. Make sure y'all like this video if y'all haven't already. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Let me tell y'all what next week holds, all right? Next week, I will be back on with 3 great guys, Dre, Jermaine, and Rob. Next Wednesday, mark the calendar. Y'all remember this last month, From Boys to Men, where last week, or not last week, but last month, we were talking about childhood and manhood. This week coming up here, we're going to be talking about manhood and fatherhood. So make sure y'all mark y'all calendars for next week, which is going to be July 20th. All right, mark them calendars for sure, because it's going to be a great conversation. Just like last time, I saw y'all in the chat lit. So make sure you save that date for that. And I will be back on next week. But let me read these comments really quick coming in. All right, yes, make sure y'all, hey, thank you for the love. I appreciate y'all. Like, short and sweet. I don't have to be on here all the time. Yes, and Jermaine said, I don't agree with bi. If you poke or get poked by men, you're gay. Oh, exactly. Let me tell you about that real quick. I totally agree. I was saying this earlier today. I said, look, some men will claim that they are bisexual just so they won't just be outed as gay, right? That gay title is too much for them. So just to make them be a little bit reserved and protected, they'll say bi. But in reality, like you said, once you doing a poking, you getting poked by a man, you poking a man, whatever you doing, that means that you need to slow your roll and just claim the side that you want. You went over there, you on that side. Like, it's either left or it's right. You know what I'm saying? Keep it simple. Yes, hit that like button, please. Hit that like button. I appreciate it. It'll help the algorithm. And thank y'all so much for tuning in. Last week, if you haven't checked out that episode, last week, I'm trying to think of the name of it, Lord. Let me think. Oh, yeah, it was called, wait 1 second, because I'm over here losing my mind. Last week's episode was called Woman Thou Art Loose, okay, in the streets. All right, last week's episode was that. So make sure you check that episode out, because it got a lot of hits from somewhere, somehow. Thank you, Lord. A lot of people tuned in last week. So make sure y'all check out that video, Woman Thou Art Loose, where I was talking about the women in the streets getting the BBLs, knowing they going to BB Hill. Yes. All right, straight like that. If it ain't straight, it ain't straight. Period. All right, y'all. Stay blessed. And I will see y'all next week for another episode of Chelsea's Live Line.